Got Jose Shorty Torres on here right now. Coming on Titan Fighting Championships 42. Coming up pretty quick. 3-0. Shorty, what was your amateur record?
My amateur record was 25-1.
25-1. Which was, I thought at like 12 or 13 you could have went pro, but you had some other things you're trying to deal with before you jumped pro. So you stayed in it for a little bit longer. And I'm glad you did, because now you're the poster child for whenever anybody asks, what should I do? Well, what have you done before? Well, nothing. Okay, well then go get 20 amateur fights. What? Yeah, go get 20 amateur fights. If you do something for free 20 times and you're kind of okay at it, you'll do it for low pay when you get to the pro level. So like, it's an easy way to find out if you really want to do it. You did 25, 26, and I mean, look how good you are. This is a big step up though for you, this fight. Pedro Nober is a huge name when it comes to fighting. You're only 3-0. He's 18-2. Jeff Aronson just told me, I just had him on just a couple minutes ago. He was telling me that you kept calling Lex to get this fight, to make this fight happen, because you wanted this fight that bad. So we're at home looking at it on paper going 3-0, 18-2. Okay, 18-2 is going to crush this kid. But that's not what's going on. Like, you really believe that this is a guy that's going to get you to the next level, right?
Yeah, it doesn't look good on paper for me, but overall, stylistically, I think it's a great fight. He's a gamer. He likes to go forward. He'll pretty much fight you whatever game you want to play. And for me, I'm a stand-up fighter. I want to just stand and bang with the guy. And my pro debut was when he fought Tim Elliott,
Mm-hmm.
and watching, I was like, I'd love to fight either one of them. Actually, right now, I'm training with Tim Elliott.
I was going to say, yeah.
But overall, he's given me pointers. All the other people that I've talked to have fought Pedro Nobre as well, have given me pointers as well. And it's just looking at it stylistically, it's a good fight for me. Even though I'm 3-0, I do have that amateur experience. Even though it's nothing compared to Pedro Nobre's 18-2 and UFC veteran experience, I just think it's a good fight for me. It's a win-win. If I win, I beat a guy who's 18-2, the biggest veteran that's not in the UFC. And if I lose, the guy's 18-2. I'm only 3-0 and 24 years old. I have nothing but to gain from this.
Which is actually a pretty good attitude. How is that? Well, most kids at 24 are nervous. Like they're getting a little, wow, man, I'm about to step up to the big leagues. And you're kind of like, I'm gonna take a stab at it. Not really. I mean, you're really definitely hitting it hard and heavy, but you're like, I'm gonna take a stab at it. If I fail, I'll lick my wounds, figure out what I did wrong, and get better. And if I win, then I'm in the right place. It's kind of, you're like kind of simple about it.
Yeah, I mean, and plus, my training partners, I train with some of the best people who've already beaten Obre, or if not, are top in the UFC. Right now I'm training with Joseph Benavidez, Brandon Moreno, that's already in the UFC, Eric Shelton, that's on the Ultimate Fighter right now, Timothy Elliott, who beat Pedro Nobre, John Dodson, Cub Swanson, all these people that I've trained with before are top notch. So for me to hold my own with them, I feel like I'll do just well against Pedro Nobre.
All those names you just named, they're all at different camps. They're all at different areas of the country. So you're not just staying in Chicago and training. You're obviously right now you're in Denver training with Tim at Muscle Farm. Do you bounce around and train different spots for different camps, or how does your training camp work?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm always bouncing around, just getting different looks. That's what I like to do. And I have my coach back in Chicago, but he trusts me to go to different camps to just get different looks, different sparring sessions with not just amateur guys or just new pro level guys, but guys at the top ranks. Again, John Dotson,
Yeah.
Tim Elliott, Benavidez, Cub Swanson, and I mean, for my last fight when I fought Abdiel Velasquez, the two top guys I sparred with were Cub Swanson and John Dotson. They helped me the best in my training camp for that last fight. So, I'm just excited again against Pedro Nobre. Stylistically, it's a very good fight for me.
Okay, so you win the title at flyweight. The UFC has got to be already looking at you. They got to be getting ready to make a phone call. You beat Pedro, and you beat him significantly. You might get called the next day. Like it's literally like one of those deals. They'll call you up and have you like, we need you in 2 months, to come up and fight up. Are you ready for the big jump to the UFC, or do you want to
Well,
wait?
actually, that was my big statement of everyone, and I'm not saying Lex or Jeff were trying to find me different fighters, but they go, hey man, you're 3-0, let's get you some numbers and move you up. I go, well, I'm a champion. I feel like I should fight whoever's next. I don't believe that you should sign someone and automatically they get a title fight. I believe that the only person at the flyweight division for Titan FC that's won lately was Pedro Nobre against Sid Bice. So I go, I want Pedro Nobre. I'm not ducking anybody. If I'm a champion, I'm going to fight the best. And I want to be moved to the UFC. I really thought, because of the hype I was getting, that if I beat Abdiel, that I was going to get a call or something. But nothing happened. So I was like, you know what? Let me make a statement for myself and show that I'm game against some of the UFC's best. And I think
I
Pedro Nobre.
I thought you were gonna get a phone call too after that last win. I really did. But let's not forget what has happened with the UFC since that last win. They've been sold. They have new management. They've got a new staff coming in. Some things have slipped through the cracks at this point, and that's just one of the other things I think has kind of slipped through. But I can't see it slipping through again. I can't see the if you beat Pedro, and how you beat Pedro obviously will make a significant difference as well. It's the more exciting the match, the quicker the win. You know, the easier you make it look will obviously go towards all that limit of getting the phone call. But they've got to be calling you soon. You've got to get ready to get moved up. I mean, crap, you've already had 29 fights. Like, it's not like this is something new. You already have 29 fights. And yeah, you say, oh, well, he's got a better record because he fought more people and they're all pro and it's been the UFC. But you've had some pretty salty competition too coming through the amateur ranks. It wasn't
Yeah,
like it
and
was easy track.
8 of those guys were technically at the World Championships. And again, that's why I tell a lot of amateurs, try to compete and win nationals to go to Worlds, because you're facing pro-level guys at the amateur ranks. These are all guys that, in a sense, this is our version of the Olympics.
Yeah.
We're not there yet, but we're building up to it. And facing pro-level guys at the amateur ranks, I'd rather lose as an amateur and go, hey, this is what I need to work on, compared to fighting those guys as a pro and going, damn, now I need 2 or 3 just to get back up that ladder. So fighting Pedro Nobre, I'm not saying it's going to be a piece of cake or I've seen this type of
Yeah.
fight before. It's easily going to be my toughest fight. When I saw him fight Sid Bison, Tim Elliott, he was kind of doing just enough to get by. He doesn't like to strike moving backwards. The only time he does strike and attack is when he's moving forward. And I mean, for people who see my type of my fighting style, I'm a Mexican fighter. I go straight forward, and whether I'm taking shots or not, and that's the type of fight I want to make, is a very, very entertaining one. And I believe Pedro Nobre can give that.
So what did you have to do differently while you're training up there at Muscle Farm with Tim Elliott? What did you have to do differently that you haven't done in other training camps?
The biggest thing, and I'm not saying that elevation's a huge difference from Albuquerque to Denver, but Denver, Colorado's the highest place in the United States. It's ridiculously. We're at 7,500 feet. Not too long ago, we went hiking. It was ridiculous. We're like, oh man, we're not even going that fast. But why am I so tired? And the biggest thing is we're pretty much trained with all of Team Benavides from Ultimate Fighter. So we're facing nothing but other champions from other promotions, from RFA, Legacy, and so on, and the former Titan FC champions. So it's just, instead of, for example, when I was at Albuquerque, I was facing, here's some decent pro level guys, here's some better ones, here's John Dotson and Cub Swanson that are pretty much top of their game. But here it's nothing but guys technically at my rank, if not even higher. So I'm just happy. The hardest thing is just trying to get used to this elevation, just pushing through.
How long have you been in Denver right now?
Pretty much about a week.
And how long will you be there before you leave?
I'll be here for 2 weeks. I leave November 20th. I'll go home for Thanksgiving and just enjoy it with my family, and then that last week get the rest of the weight down and just coast my way through. But overall, man, it's real cool. And the best thing about this is that, again, I'm facing champions from other promotions and just comparing my skills to them, mainly when they have 10 plus pro fights already, and beating some of the best at their promotions, and just getting the different looks. Like Tim Elliott, he's extremely awkward.
Yeah.
Just he's very solid. He's like a leech. If he takes your back, he's just holding on. And every single person's different. Eric Shelton's a great boxer. Brandon Moreno's a great guy on the ground. So every single guy is different. And I believe combined together is just going to help me win this fight.
This is a huge fight. It's one of 4 title fights on Titan FC 42. Obviously, can be seen on Fight Pass. It's coming in after UFC 205, which means a bunch of new eyeballs are going to come on. A bunch of new people will be watching you fight. This is a huge deal. I talked to Jeff Aronson, the CEO, a little bit ago. He is super excited about this card, and he's actually really excited about you. And I asked him, he's your champ. What happens when he gets the phone call, gets pulled away? Like, what happens? Like, no, it's great. Like, it's perfect because they're going to announce him as the former Titan FC champ. So now on the pay-per-view card, on the prelims when you're fighting, that announcement comes again. Is it a big pride thing for you too to know that you started at the amateur level, worked your way up to being one of the best, if not the best in the world at any weight class, and then jumping to the pro level and becoming one of the best this quickly? Is it a big feeling of pride for you for this one?
Well, it's awesome, but like when I first joined the sport, I did it because it was fun and I just loved the challenge. I never expected like when people are like, "Oh, what was your record as amateur?" Oh, well, I was 25-1, and they freak out. I never expected to get that many fights, whether it be that good. At least at the with my status, and everyone's, oh, you're the best pound for pound fighter in the world. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. I don't let it go to my head because of one of my boxing coaches likes to say, once you get cocky, that's when you get knocked out.
Yeah.
For me, I've always done this for fun. I've never seen anything else from it. That's why I decided to take Pedro Nobre. Is it an anxiety type of battle of going, hey, could I get scared because he's 18-2, a UFC veteran, the biggest veteran with the biggest experience outside the UFC? Yeah, it's huge. But overall, I'm in it for the challenge. I'm not in it to win or lose. If I lose this fight, it's a learning experience. I'm 24. I have nothing but to gain from this. So I'm always staying positive. And if I keep winning, it's awesome. I'm just trying to get all support from around the world and just keep pushing forward.
Jose, thanks for spending some time with us in between training practice. I really appreciate it. Good luck with this fight, man. And I'm telling the folks at home, you got to watch this kid. He eventually is going to be champ of the big leagues. You got to watch. And you don't understand how important the amateur level is until you see how he fights at 3-0, how good he actually is when he fights, because all that time in the amateur ranks, getting that record built up, really has translated into the victories he's having now as a pro. It's incredible.
Thanks, man. I really, really appreciate that. And again, I thank you for all the support. You're actually one of my first interviews when I got signed to Titan FC,
Yeah.
and it was actually less than a year ago.
Yeah.
I moved up pretty fast, but it's again, like you said, because of the amateur ranks. If you want to be respected as a professional fighter, you got to have a good amateur record.
Have to. Absolutely. It's mandatory. And mandatory now, especially with the way the sport's going. You got no choice.
Hmm.
So, Jose, thanks so much, man. Have a great rest of your training camp. Enjoy Thanksgiving. We'll talk to you later.
You too. Thank you. Bye bye.